trip began in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I boarded an American Airlines flight to the sub-Saharan Africa. After traveling 8,081 miles, I landed in the southern part of South Africa called Cape Town. This is an aerial view of the beautiful city. Once I arrived in Cape Town, I took a tour of the Castle of Good Hope. The Castle of Good Hope is a bastion fort built in the 17th century in Cape Town, South Africa. It was originally located on the coastline of Table Bay. Following land reclamation, it is now located inland. Upon leaving the Castle of Good Hope, we traveled to Camps Bay. Here's a picture of Camps Bay Beach I took while I was there. Next, I went to the Table Mountain. While I was there, I enjoyed a ride on the aerial cable. I was one out of 909,000 visitors from all over the world to use the cableway annually. Later that evening, I left my tourist group and ventured off on my own. I decided to go and see Two Oceans Aquarium. There were fish, sharks, and penguins. I was most fascinated by the penguin exhibit. After I finished at the aquarium, I wanted to see the famous Kalahari Desert, so I visited Galagadi Transfrontier Park. The plants that do best in the Kalahari's harsh conditions tend to be smaller plants such as grasses or the flowering devil's claw, which have tubers or corms that remain underground and enable the plant to flourish when water is available. The river areas of the south are home to the birds, including flamingos and several types of vultures. Larger animals such as black and white rhinos, elephants, and wild dogs also survive in the desert, and you might even catch a glimpse of parakeets and lions. Numerous other birds and mammals utilize the desert, but most are migratory. From there, I headed north to Chobe National Park, Botswana. Here is my chance to go on the safari that I always wanted. While on safari, I saw a large amount of elephants. It was obvious that we were in elephant territory because of the destruction they caused to the vegetation. I learned that elephants knock down trees to make leaves more accessible. Next, I saw my favorite animal, the hippopotamus. Hippos spend all their time in the water to stay out of the heat. However, the hippos along the Chobe River are different. Due to the large number of animals sharing the same food source, the hippos now come out in the daylight to eat. If you are a bird lover, the Chobe River is a great place to see the majestic fish eagle. It is hard to get used to their screech that sounds like a seagull. One of the most impressive sights on our safari was the lion. Lions spend up to 20 hours a day at rest and are most active at dusk and dawn. They live in prides that consist of between 5 and 10 adult lions. I also saw many giraffes. They are the tallest animal on earth, but the hardest to spot because of their brown and white markings. There are 9 subspecies found across sub-Saharan Africa. Lastly, we encountered 2 species of rhinos. They can be identified by the shape of their bottom lip. White rhinos are squared and black rhinos are pointed. The survival of both species is threatened by rhino poaching. My next stop was Victoria Falls because it was so close. Victoria Falls flows into the Zambezi River to northwestern Zambia to the Indian Ocean. While in Victoria Falls, I went to the Devil's Pool and the Elephant Walk. Since I had a strong desire to see the stunning African rainforest ecosystem, I traveled up the Zambezi River through Malawi, Tanzania, Burundi, and Rwanda. As I entered Uganda, I visited to Kibale Forest National Park. The park measures about 795 square kilometers. Kibale National Park is home to about 70 mammal species. The most popular of these is the chimpanzee. The park also has 375 different species of birds. Next, I headed east into Nairobi, Kenya. I saw a mix of wealth and poverty. Nairobi has been ranked among African cities with the highest population of millionaires. Investors have been making a lot of money in real estate, manufacturing, and communication sectors. On the other hand, 4 million people in Nairobi live in poverty. The large and overcrowded urban slums are on the brink of a massive food crisis. Next, I did something foolish and dangerous. I continued east to Mogadishu, Somalia. There, I found a few tourist attractions such as Lido Beach and the Bakara Market. I didn't stay long because the U.S. Department of State warns United States citizens against traveling to Somalia due to terrorism and criminal activity. Lastly, I journeyed far, far west to Timbuktu, Mali. While there, I was able to see priceless historical architecture. Here are some of the amazing photographs I took. In addition, I visited the Jingaber Mosque. The mosque is a famous learning center at Mali, built in 1327. Unfortunately, this is where my exciting trip ends. I started in Cape Town, then went to the Kalahari Desert, then I went to Chobe National Park, and since I was so close, I visited Victoria Falls. Then I headed up past Malawi, Tanzania, Burundi, Rwanda, to Uganda to visit Kabale. Then I visited Nairobi, and then Mogadishu. Then I headed far, far west to Timbuktu. Sadly, my whole vacation ended, and I had to leave Africa for good. And last, I was back in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.